Hello again. We are Geeks Assembled, and it's Sunday night again, and Sunday afternoon over there in the USA. Um, Myself and Susan have got together again to discuss a movie from 2023, I think it was, a British movie called All of Us Strangers, starring the wonderful Andrew Scott as Adam and the equally wonderful Paul Mescal as Harry. Supporting cast: Jamie Bell and Claire Foy. Well-known names from movies and TV. So it's a story about, in my eyes, it's about loneliness, and coming to terms with grief. So we will go over to Susan and opening thoughts on All of Us Strangers.
Well, hello. Happy Gay Pride. There's my pride flag for you. This is the beginning of our Pride season offerings, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, which is just like to uh, remind everyone that here in Geeks Assembled, you know, uh, it's we're we're so positive that you're gonna that you're going to line up with us, that we don't put up with any shit for by folks that are homophobic and stuff like that. And you know, the trans people have always been my heroes. Yesterday was Boy George's 64th birthday, so happy birthday, Boy George. Today, what we're reviewing is it's a bit of a head scratcher. I'm almost willing to say mindfuckery, because this is challenging. All of us strangers. So, in one sense, I get this, get the feeling that Andrew Scott's character Adam was completely neglected by mom and dad, sorry, and unknown by any other family members. No extended family, was disconnected on every corner and kind of walled in. You know, he was in a high rise apartment, but he only knew one of his neighbors, and there really was, you know, you looked at the lights on in the building from the street, and there's only two lights on in the whole fucking building. And
there's a clue.
There's his on the 15th floor, and Harry is on like the 6th floor or 5th floor or something like that. So you're like, how is this council apartment, council flats, how is this building so empty? I mean, kind of, where is it? And then like why? Anyway, and then there's also the sense that his parents don't know him at all. His parents don't know him at all. I mean, he's must be mid-30s, and he's coming out to them in his mid-30s.
But he couldn't come out to them when he was younger because they died when he was 12.
No, they didn't die because he was having supper with them.
They died in a car crash when he was 12.
They didn't die. They died. They were revived.
No,
he was
they
having
died.
supper with them all the way through the movie.
They died.
This is what I'm saying. It's a bit of a head scratcher. You know, there's some legitimately character building moments in these interactions with his mom and dad, where they are not dead, they are not ghosts, they're eating food. I don't, Lee, just tell me what's going on, okay? Over to you, Lee. What the hell? What is this movie?
Right.
Right.
His parents died in a car crash when he was 12. It was they'd gone out to a party, skidded on the ice. His dad was killed instantly. His mother was thrown through the windscreen and died several days later in hospital. He was then passed over to his grandmother, who lived in Ireland. Hence, he had the Irish accent.
I got that much.
He
moved back to England.
Became a scriptwriter, living in an apartment where only two people live. Now, there's some people take this as a clue that there's something else going on here. He meets Harry. Well, Harry goes to his door drunk, saying, "Do you want company?" And he turns him away. And then he sort of makes a relationship with Harry about Paul Mescal. And then he goes meets his parents at the old house where they used to live. And amazingly, they're still there, and they haven't aged because they're dead. He's coping with grief. And then they say the cats stay with him all the time. They've got to move on, and then they disappear near the end of the movie. They leave him to get on with his life. And then later on, Adam discovers Harry's decomposing body in his own flat. Harry never had a relationship with Adam. Another ghost, because Harry said when he appeared to him in the room, I am in there, aren't I? Yeah. So this was all in Adam's mind. But some people say Adam's dead as well. Being the apartment with just those two people, it was some sort of purgatory state. Some clues are there. Interpretations of Adam being dead. As you say, the only two tenants in that apartment are those two. And so we find out that Harry's died several weeks before, or even a month. There's a fire imagery, blue flash. There's the fire alarms going off at the beginning of the movie, blue flashing lights when he's waking up. So maybe hinting that Adam was killed in a fire.
Okay, but the fire was okay. Here's another one where I'm going to argue against that, because he's at that one like separate a house, and there's the fire inside where it's like you can see the flicker, but it's only in that one room, and he walks in, and I mean, if he was to die, it wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. So no, he's not died in a fire. He's responding to the warmth. I think that that's what I picked up from that. I was like, well, I mean, Harry is being pretty distant emotionally from him, and his parents have put up emotional walls, except for that one time. And this was weird to me, was when he crawled into bed with them. And so like I was just like, but this fire thing in that house was,
he crawled into bed because that's what he used to do when he was little.
I know, I get that, but like that was trying to.
He was reliving memories.
Okay, but Okay, but the emotional thing was that he was feeling
He was having
he
to
was
confront.
feeling the warmth. He was trying for warmth.
He was having to confront his past. He was having to accept his parents' deaths, and he was
Oh,
trying to find peace. Um, and
okay.
in his mind, he found a soulmate in Harry, which he only met once.
Harry.
And so none of the other stuff sort of happened because Harry was dead.
And he met him earlier than the movie. That was the one time that they were passing in the hall.
When he knocked on his door and says, "I've got some whiskey here. Do you want to kick company?" That was the
So
only
that
time.
was when he's still alive.
That was when he was still alive. Then he went back. Then he went back to his flat and died because he was lonely. Adam was lonely. He just didn't. Harry didn't want to be alone, but he was got turned away by Adam.
Oh my god, this movie. Oh my god, this movie.
But it, it's and the other thing to say that Adam was dead as well was when him and Harry at the end of the movie sort of faded away into like a star, or like souls going passing. So this
Hmm.
is why we're assuming that Adam was dead as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's what I got from it. But his parents were definitely dead because they were still wearing the 1980s gear. They were still watching 1980s TV.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
I just
was
thought they were. I just thought they were like cool, like you and me, watching a lot of '80s TV.
they were they were memories and ghosts, and he was trying to he wanted to say things what he didn't have time to say to them when they were alive.
Closure. Oh.
So this is why I said at the
Okay.
beginning, this is why at the beginning I said this is mainly about loneliness.
Yeah, I mean, you read the you read the blurbs on this movie, and it says that his parents died 30 years ago.
Hmm.
But I was like, most of the character growth is through the parents coming to terms with their sons, you know, homosexuality,
Which they didn't know
and
about.
which they didn't know about. And then there was also the Harry coming to terms with using the term um, gay instead of queer, because Harry was all like, "Yeah, I'm just going to use the term uh, queer," and Adam's like, um, "No, that one was always so hard." And then we always used to use gay, but then Harry's all like, "Yeah, but in this time, in this place, they said this is gay and this is gay," and it was all to be derogatory. And I was like, "Yeah, I can see his point, but I mean, it was like um, the two characters. If his mom and dad were gay, if his mom and dad were dead, and Harry was dead, how did they have character arcs? Lee, tell me, how did they have character arcs? How did they have growing processes if they are deceased, if they are dead parents, if they are no more?
Because it's all in Adam's mind.
All right, all right, all right. Okay.
He's coping with grief since they died. He wanted things to say to them when they were alive, which he never got the chance to. So he's making all these visits because it didn't realize all these visits to the house. It was just happened like that. He's on a train, then he's back at the apartment like that. It's just flitting across like that. And also as well, when they were at the old house, they had the old fashioned 1980s car in the drive. They had this little red toy car, what he used to drive outside. So it's all from his memories and his photos, what he had. And then I say with the Harry situation, he met him once and he was lonely and this sort of escalated with making a relationship with him.
Okay, so did he and Harry like have did they fuck like the first time that they were together?
No,
So
because
that was another part of the loneliness of Adam's life, is that he never
he
got to
turned
fuck this one guy.
he turned him away, didn't he? But and
Yeah,
then
okay.
and then ever since he turned him away, the Harry what appeared was a ghost spirit.
Jesus. Sure. Yeah, okay.
So this is why people say about this movie, Harry's a Harry's dead. His parents are dead. He Adam is mostly dead as well. Living in this purgatory state style in this apartment because I say they're the only two people there, and then you say you get the ending, as I say, where they fade into a starlight.
Hmm.
As for me, it's the souls passing on,
Okay.
moving on. It was a very moving film.
Yeah,
Um,
it was that.
Great acting.
Yeah.
I can't fault anybody's acting. Two leads were just so well together.
And Claire Foy and what's the other one's name?
Bell
Yeah.
or Billy Elliot. Um,
Yeah, they were, I mean, surprisingly, um, due to their apparent age similarities to Adam, they really pulled off the paternal and maternal sen- sensibility.
yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. And what to
that's
make it?
why that's why I thought that because they had a character arc, they couldn't be dead. Because I mean, here I am thinking that when you're dead, you don't really actually grow anymore. There's no more emotional space in that growth process, because that's all the shit that goes on because of your squishiness in the brain, all the
I
chemicals
mean,
that are going on in your brain, right?
you knew they were dead because the big giveaway was, when he told Harry, they were killed in a car crash, but also as well, the last scene where they are at the cafe getting some food, where both of them ask, "Was it quick?" They was asking the accident, "Was it quick? Was it, we didn't suffer." So that's why Adam was in tears and saying, "No, it was quick. It was quick."
Oh, okay,
But
that's valid. I guess I missed that. It was amazing. It really was. There's a lot there,
I would say,
and
watch it again at another time, and then you'll mostly see the connections.
yeah, and was it written by
It,
Taiki Yamada?
yeah, it was based on a Japanese book called Strangers.
Okay.
But yeah, it was, and also as well the, the music, the music that was using was all from 80s.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was beautiful.
You
But
had
I see, here's me. Okay, here's me just thinking that he was he was like us, like all these these characters were like us, kind of sort of stuck in the 1980s, kind of like that. That was some of the best stuff ever.
Well, he most certainly was because of the purgatory state he lived in. Uh,
No,
going on,
but you and I aren't living in that purgatory state, and
sometimes I feel like I am.
okay, but you're not. Trust me. Otherwise, why the hell would you be talking to some weird Reddit across the fucking Atlantic Ocean? God damn it, Lee, get it right. You just have good taste. Okay, being somebody who likes stuff from the 80s just means you have good taste. It doesn't mean you're dead and in purgatory. Am I right?
No, you're not.
Oh fuck. Okay. Anyway, I the other thing that was really amazing was, Claire Foy has been she's had so many like royal, and this was her most like down to earth character that I'd seen her play, and I just that was something just to see her play just an ordinary mom. That was really something. Okay, so that was my, my shout out to her. Good empathy.
I mean, yeah, a sort of shock and disgust with him about when he finally says, I'm gay. And it was the attitudes of the 1980s attitude of homosexuality about
Hmm.
AIDS and all like that.
Hmm.
And this is why you got the idea, oh, yeah, because so these memories, these imagery is from the 80s with all
Okay,
their, about,
that fits. Yeah. Okay.
and, you know, but yeah, and when next thing they're putting up the Christmas tree in 1987 because on the TV there was the Pet Shop Boys with Always on My Mind on top of the pops, Christmas #1.
Yeah, I was I was long graduated from high school enrolled in uni, and you know I was thinking Pet Shop Boys were the best, and I was yeah. So
And did you notice as well in sort of the last scene in the house where he wakes up and his mother and father are in the bedroom, everything's covered in dust sheets
yeah, I did notice that.
because the house is empty.
Okay,
Because they don't
so
live there.
if he
They
was
don't live there.
if he wasn't dead, then he's breaking and entering all the time into that one house.
But did he even go to the house? Because if it's all just in the headspace,
Memories.
memories, it's
Hmm.
but yeah, when I first saw this movie last year, I thought, wow. And then I watched it again, and then you sort of work it out what's going on. You think, well, this is a so well put together movie because it makes you think.
Yeah, it does. Oh my gosh.
And of two lonely people,
So
Harry,
this is if
Harry Adam.
this could be considered like like the grown up sixth sense.
Yeah,
Adam being a
yeah,
grown up sixth sense. Yeah,
yeah.
so good. Okay.
It is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Andrew Scott is a brilliant actor. He's been in loads of movies and TV. And then Paul Mescal, so young actor. He's been in quite a few movies, and just his last one, the big one for him was Gladiator 2.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Uh, but it surprised me that both the main leading actors are Irish, but but Paul Mitchell decided to put a northern accent on for this, and he pulled it off. His accent sounded like it was just 60 miles down the road from me. But these two, they had such chemistry on screen, and you could see that they sort of cared for each other. And then it was so sad at the end for me when you found out that Harry's been dead all the time, most of the movie, and so Adam hasn't really found anyone in his life to share his life with. But this is why, me personally, think Adam's dead as well, because he's laid there on the bed with Harry at the end of the movie, fading into a little shining star, to the power of love.
Yeah.
And
there was that.
I'll protect you from the hooded claw, keep vampires from your door. Great song. That's my opinion on it. I thought it's a wonderful movie. Right. Anything else, Susan?
Well, yeah, I guess in honor of this movie, it shouldn't be that hard to find a soulmate. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just, especially if that one that they were together, and then Harry passed away. That's just that all these people were dead. That just changes it. Breaks my heart.
Mm.
Really hard.
Harry at the end said to him after Adam found his body, when he appeared to him in the flat, I just don't want to be lonely. It scares me. So maybe that's why his ghost found Adam.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And went on this trip.
Yeah. I mean, this is like similar and diametrically opposed to the audio adventure that we're reviewing this week. I mean, similar in the difficulty in finding soulmate, diametrically opposed in the fact that everybody's dead in this and nobody's dead in that one. Oh my god. There is a diametric opposition to death in the other one, but this one is, I just never thought that. That's hard. That's hard. It's so hard on the heart. Oh my gosh. And yeah, so, and
I mean, when the actor,
so Harry was, there in one of the scenes. Harry, like, there was a sort of a confrontation going on, and Harry was asked, "Are you here to protect him?" And he said, "Yes." So I guess in some ways, Harry became a guardian spirit. Then he's dead already. God dang it! It's so emotional. My gosh, what?
in several scenes where the two main actors are shedding tears, or you feel it.
Oh yeah,
You really do feel it.
so emotional.
Yeah. This movie was nominated for several BAFTA awards when it came out, so it got a nod. But yeah, I would say, for me personally, it's one of the best movies of the last 20 so years. Because I say, I like movies what make you think.
Hmm.
They give you sort of an answer at the end, and then you have to sort of think back what's happened through the movie. So
Hmm.
clever, so clever. So,
Yeah, it was.
but if you've got anything else, shall we go to final say and score? Look at
Sure.
those sad eyes. He's so sad.
Look at those sad eyes. Yeah. Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
so what's your final
All
say and
right.
score?
Well, both of us or all of us strangers um had a lot of moving parts, moving being emotionally rending parts, and a lot of depth to it. And I will credit the whole movie for a big punch in the big punch up the braces. No, that's not the right word. A big punch in the gut.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I will. Mm, yeah, I'll give this 9 elevator rides out of 10. The only reason I'm taking 1 point away from it being perfect is because I didn't actually know about like that the characters that I thought were still alive were dead until this podcast. So
But it's said in the movie that they're dead.
okay, but yeah, but whatever.
Yeah,
Like
but
it's
yeah,
a it's a it's a it is a matter of story, and I didn't pick it up from the story. I just, you can tell me what you tell me, but if you're going to show me something different, I'm going to believe there's something different. I'm much more willing to suspend disbelief. You can say any number of things, but I will believe my eyes and the action more than the words. I think that that's just becoming my reality actually. And so um yeah, nine elevator rides out of 10. um
also as well, we didn't mention that the sex scenes between the two main characters was not grotesquely done.
no, it was really fine cinema.
Yeah, you only got one flash of Paul Mescal's buttocks, and the rest it wasn't grotesque. I mean, some movies,
No, there wasn't it wasn't even like super grindy or whatever. It was just really sort of
nice and slow.
high art cinema.
Yeah,
So is that another reason why you think that they're dead? Besides
well,
it being told that?
no,
No. Okay. No.
no.
All right. So what are your final say and score then, Lee?
Well, I'm going to give this because it's an amazing movie, um, a British movie as well. So because the Brits do it better. Um, it's going to get 10 80 songs out of 10 from me. It's great acting, uh, great soundtrack, and it's so emotional, and it just draws you in, pulls you in, and you say you feel for Adam, you feel for Harry, in a sort of way you feel for his parents as well because they never understood him when he was younger. So this is what he wanted to say to him when he had the chance. So yeah, 10 from me. It's just a superb movie, and not a lot of people know about it. But when it came out, it got a lot of praise. This movie, reviews. So yeah, that's our review of All of Us Strangers. Go check it out, guys. If you've seen it, leave a message below on this video, which I share across all social media platforms what we use. Also, as well, leave a message if you want to be on the casts. Just got to be 18 and over, because some of the things what we discuss are 18 rated and over. So you just want to play safe on that. Also, you need a working camera and microphone in the device you use, and you'll be on the cast if you want to be on them. And remember, on the YouTube channel, there's a bell notification button. Press that and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. So that's it, Susan, isn't it?
Yep.
Cool. So after this emotional viewing of this movie, I feel so drained. So on to the next cast, which will be high camp and sex all the way, I think. So until next time, until the next cast, bye for now.